Welcome to HDTV. You're now rocking with your boy.
I just want to say thank you.
Of course.
I just want to say thank you.
Of course.
I just want to say thank you. So last week, I interviewed for the Giants position. I was set to interview on Thursday. The Monday prior, before I interviewed, I received a text message from Bill Belichick saying congratulations on the Giants. Essentially, congratulations on the Giants job. There was a little bit of back and forth.
We have the text messages there on the screen.
Yeah, there was some back and forth and
some confusion because you haven't sat down with the Giants yet.
I have not sat down with the Giants. There was some back and forth, and I asked him, "Is this, you talking to the right Brian?" And as you've seen through the text messages, he was actually thought he was texting Brian Daboll,
who they ended up hiring.
Yes, sir.
So at that point, how did that make you feel, knowing that you were walking into an interview where a decision might have already been made?
It was a range of emotions: humiliation, disbelief, anger. I've worked so hard to get to where I am in football, to become a head coach. Put 18 years in this league, and it was to go on what was going to be what felt like, or what was a sham interview. I was hurt. And,
but you went knowing that you probably weren't going to get it. Why did you continue to go?
I think there's still hope, and maybe it's call it the audacity of hope. I have a belief that there's good in people. I just do.
We knew he wasn't getting that job. On the day before that Giants interview, we reached out to you, CBS, to all of you to start talking about doing this interview today, because we knew he wasn't getting the job. We knew it was a setup. We knew they were just trying to comply with the Rooney Rule. We started drafting the complaint, and here we are.
The Giants say they're pleased and confident in the hiring process. I get the sense from the lawsuit and from you right now that you had a feeling like, here we go again. This wasn't the first time you felt discriminated against in the league. Is that true?
Yeah. I mean,
this is Brian Flores speaking on CBS Miami morning show.
To sit down in front of ownership, but I think what it's turned into is an instance where guys are just checking the box. And that's been the case. I've been on some interviews in the past that where I've had that feeling. There's always no way to know for sure, but and I know I'm not alone there.
You have to have the Rooney Rule.
I think
even isn't that a problem? What were we going to say?
It's absolutely. I'm sorry. It's absolutely a problem. And one of the things that we're doing to help effectuate this change is, the Rooney Rule's tied to the assumption that presidents, owners are going to do the right thing, hire the best, most qualified candidate.
Yeah.
What we want to do is tie, certain things to performance and action through this.
But Brian, the reason the timing is really important here, because you're actually up for 2 additional NFL jobs right now.
Yeah.
So why did you do this, knowing from your own statement that you may have sacrificed your future in the NFL, and you're a young man?
Yeah. Well, I let both the teams know that we're gonna file, but look, I love coaching. I'm gifted to coach. I know that. And the relationships I've built with players, coaches, support staff, I'm gifted to coach, and I love coaching, and I want to coach.
And I've heard from reliable sources you're a very good coach. Let the
No doubt
record
about
show.
Always room for improvement, but I like to think that as well. But this is bigger than coaching.
Of course.
This is much bigger than coaching.
Now, we'll get back to the lawsuit in regards to the Broncos and the Giants, but I want to talk about the Miami Dolphins for a second. You make claims that you were offered $100,000 for each game this team lose, subsequently to get a better draft pick. Kind of speak on that, because you don't hear about that going on behind closed doors. I'm a former player. I know you as a coach. You want to win. I walk in that locker room. I want to win. I don't hear people from the front office and above making those type of decisions that can change the outcome of your coaching career.
Look, this game's done a lot for me. I grew up not far from here, in the projects in Brownsville, Brooklyn. I didn't grow up with a lot. This game, changed my life. So to attack the integrity of the game. That's what I felt was happening in that instance, and I wouldn't stand for it.
And that was Dolphins owner Stephen Ross.
Yes. So.
And you think it hurt your career?
I think it hurt my standing within the organization, and ultimately was the reason why I was let go.
Well, word on the street now, though, Brian, is that either you've torpedoed your career, that this is the craziest thing you could have done, or that it's very brave and very bold of you to do. How are you feeling? Are you at peace with your decision? And was this a very difficult decision for you to make, to file a lawsuit before you have a job?
I understand the risk, and yes, it was a difficult decision, and I went back and forth. And like I said, I love coaching. I do. It's something that I'm passionate about. It brings me joy, and I love helping young people reach their potential and become the best versions of themselves. I'm gifted to do that.
Brian,
but this is bigger than that.
I mean, can I just say, in 2022, the fact that we don't have one black owner, we only have one black head coach.
That's actually I want to touch on.
Really, Brian needs to be applauded for stepping forward to be the first person to really contest it. It's been talked about.
Well, you've heard the statement
but now he has stepped forward to challenge it.
You've heard the statement from the NFL, and a statement: diversity is core to everything we do. There are a few issues on which our clubs and our internal teams spend more time on.
Yeah, they've acknowledged their problems. The executives there have acknowledged their problems. Now the PR team is trying to spin something. They could take two different paths. They could take the path of trying to defend and litigate.
That's
or
right.
We hope that they take the path of actually trying to correct things, to be an example not only for the NFL but for American society, to lead by example.
When you talk about the owners, you got 31 white billionaires, and then the Packers have a special situation. 70% of the players are black. There's a power dynamic that's visible there.
Yeah.
In the lawsuit, there's this explosive line that the NFL is managed much like a plantation. That's a direct quote. Why did you decide to settle on that metaphor?
I think. Look, we didn't have to file a lawsuit for the world to know that there's a problem from a hiring standpoint in regards to minority coaches in the National Football League. The numbers speak for themselves.
Right.
We filed the lawsuit so that we could create some change, and that's important to me. I think we're at a fork in the road right now. We're either going to keep it the way it is, or we're going to go in another direction and actually make some real change where we're actually changing the hearts and minds of those who make decisions to hire head coaches, executives, etc. And that's where we got to get to. We got to change hearts and minds.
Brian, I heard someone say, but don't companies or clubs have the right to hire the person they think is the best qualified for the job, or the person they feel is right for the job?
Whatever race they are.
Whatever race they are, yes.
They do. And that's very reasonable to me. But at the same time, there are I know a lot of very capable coaches, executives, minorities, coaches, executives who are minorities, and in a lot of cases are as qualified, more qualified, and quite frankly better than their white counterparts.
But the difference here, though, is that
they're not given an equal opportunity.
Exactly.
And when we talk about this fork in the road that the NFL has, and Gail, you talked about the statement that they released, denying and saying that they're going to defend. What was absent from their response to this 60-page complaint with serious allegations from a decorated head coach is, how about we'll investigate? We're troubled by this. We'll look into it. Immediate no denial, disregard and defend.
Yeah. But back to the point about the companies have the right to hire who they think is best qualified. We all agree with that, but the difference here, if what you're saying is true, and you seem to have receipts, they knew ahead of time that you weren't going to get the job. So I'm thinking, why waste your time and theirs?
And the word minority is it's loaded because it has different connotations. Yeah. We might be marginalized in certain areas, but our contributions to this game, both on the field and outside the lines, are
Speaking
immense.
Nate Burleson.
You have quality coaches that are available, that are gifted, and can lead teams, but not getting the opportunity. That's why you are standing for what you're standing for. But I want you to have one last word.
Those are called facts.
That's right. One last thing, I'll let you say this, but you still want to coach in this league.
I absolutely want to coach in this league, but I also know that I'm not the only story here.
Yeah.
I'm not the only one with a story to tell.
You're speaking up for decades of this going on, and hopefully stopping it from happening.
There are people who have come before me, and I know there are others who have similar stories, and it's hard to speak out It is. You're giving up. You're making some sacrifices, but this is bigger than football. This is bigger than coaching.
Thank you for using your voice. You're doing the right thing.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Brian Flores. Now, Brian Flores ain't ever going to coach, and you can tell he's not going to coach again in the NFL. But it's not about that. He's trying. This is what being a leader and sacrificing is like. This is a black man who is saying, listen, I know I may never coach again. I know I'm not going to win this case. I know I'm going to lose. But at the end of the day, it's putting pressure on the NFL. It's time for these black players and everyone to start advocating for black owners. If we can get at least 5 black owners in the league, let's start with 5. Employ nothing but black management, black men at the coaching positions, black men at the assistant positions and president positions, the GM positions. We will see a lot more action. That's the problem. We are too busy giving up saying, man, this is a waste of time. Why I'm even doing it? Why are you even doing it? You know what? Let me give y'all a little story. My exes that I was with, not were, because that would be present tense, past tense, when I was with them, they basically always destroyed my dreams. Why are you rapping? Why are you doing music? You're too old for that. Oh, maybe you should have a different... Trying to tell me what I want to do is bad, but everybody else, they commend them on what they're doing. They'll listen to everybody else, but when me as a man trying to tell them something that will better them, not just them, the relationship, it's a problem. Let's put it into a context of when I wanted to have my own business or anything and run my own brand, which is Welcome to HDII TV. I heard people saying that, no, that's a waste of time, or man, you put in too much work into it. You need to start a family, or all this. Oh, you didn't start a family. You're not with a woman. All this bull crap that means nothing. It's the same thing that's going on with Brian Flores. Everybody telling him this is a waste of time. Man, you can't tell a billionaire who to hire, who not to. Why? They tell us as a black man what is appropriate and what's not appropriate to say in the workplace or to say in the world. They dictate to us what we need to do and what not to do. That's all they do. They're great at saying that. They're great at telling you what to do and what not to do, but then when you want to talk about them, they'll be like, oh, no, that's too much. That's too much. That's what they do, and that's what they want you to do. They don't. My thing is this: you work the job. Don't let the job work you. And this is a perfect example of a man in Brian Flores risking his career. This is what leadership and what real men need to look up to. This is who I look up to. A man. I don't look up to a label, which is an athlete or a head coach and all this type of stuff. This is what I look for in a leader. This is what I look for in a man. Somebody who sacrifices for their principles, not for the money, but for principles. And this is the problem. This is the problem. And people be like, well, we're not having no change. We're not having change. You know why we're not having change? Because a lot of you people don't want to change. A lot of you people want to go along with what's going on. A lot of y'all want to go along with what is given instead of going for what's earned. I earn everything I want. I earn everything. I don't need anybody. I do it myself because that's how I wanted to do it. When I made this page saying I want to do what I want to do. I'm not finna do what everybody wants me to do. I'm not going to do what is the trend or what is hot at the time. That's not the trend or what's hot. To me, you're the trendsetter. You're the person who makes it hot. If you can't make something hot or make something great, then you are just a waste of space and you're a waste of everybody's damn time. If you're always trying to say, yo, let's pick sides, let's be buddies over here, let's be buddies over there, and all this crap, then you are just a follower. You're not a leader. Me, I am a man. Whether I lead, whether I don't lead, I would never be led by somebody. I lead myself. That's the problem with a lot of us as black men and women. We're looking for somebody to be like a black man lead us. All of y'all trying to change y'all life until Jesus come back. How do you know Jesus is ever coming back? Until then, you should be doing things to make yourself holy and sanctified, or do something to make yourself to try to be the perfect image or the progressive image for Jesus himself. But you don't. You rather go to the club. You rather smoke green every day. I don't have a problem with you doing those things. But if you make that the biggest thing in your lives, then you're never going to get to the next level. This is something that needed to be done. Brian Flores, I applaud you, sir. This is what we need. Even if he doesn't win, it's not about that. The win is him bringing it out. It's not about him really winning the case. It's about him putting these bums on notice. This is what's happening. How do you have a 70% league of black men and you only have one black coach, probably a selective few of black executives, and you have 0 black owners? This is about blacks getting more ownership. That's what we need. That's what we need, more black ownership. More black ownership is what we need. And then on TV, they honor nothing but black girls or black women. But if it's a strong black man, not the beta black man or the soft black man, but they only promote black women, black little girls, and light-skinned, which they're the mulatto. They promote the mulatto men more. And that's what they do. But a dark-skinned brother, they don't promote that. My grandfather was dark-skinned, blacker than the TV screen, blacker than the tires. A lot of men, my cousin Geronimo, I love him to death, blacker than the tires on the car, but will they get promoted? No, because they're dark-skinned. They only promote the right skin tone and the mulatto skin tone and the women. But the strong black men like Brian Flores and like myself, like Carcino, like Kwame Brown, those strong men, Ticket TV, all of these men out here who are strong black men don't get the push because we got too many people like Mr. Tydrakis who say it's a waste of time. No, sir, you breathing and being on this earth is a waste of time because that's your mindset. That's your mindset. That's all of you trolls' mindset is the troll cause division, because in real life you wouldn't do that because you get smacked in the face and said, take your punk ass on somewhere, boy. Be a real man. That's how I grew up. Thank you for listening. I'm out. Deezy.